Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life. And today I've got a question from Tim. Tim has called in on our live show. And hello, Tim. Yes.
Hello.
Tim, tell us just a little bit about yourself.
I just play games all the time and just like the online PC games.
And is that all you do? Just play games all the time?
Well, I don't play games all the time. Well, I also have a life. I'm pretty much just a stay-at-home dad.
Oh,
So
okay, cool.
any free time I get,
While the kids are napping,
yeah,
you
nap.
know? Yeah, yeah,
Nap
yeah.
that.
While they're entertained for a while, you get another match in on whatever game.
Yep. When they're young and when they get a little bit older, I'll be more than out than being in the house.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So now you had a very interesting question for me. Go ahead and ask me that question.
Do you believe that updates for a game could possibly ruin it?
Well, and so let me ask you a question back. Can you give me an example of a game that you're worried about that in?
There's not a game per se right now that I'm worried about. Um, is there any games that you would be worried about, or a game
Well,
that?
okay, so okay, let's go. Let's go. You know, I think that it actually can be applied to any game. And I say that because the the uh, I have experienced. Okay, have you ever experienced a nerf in a game?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time in World of Warcraft. Like right now, warriors are OP, and rogues aren't, and then the next patch is rogues are probably going to be OP.
And so with that said, this is exactly what your question is, what you're worried about.
Yeah.
And okay, now here's the deal with adding new content and patches to games. So one of the things that happens whenever you put a patch on a game is that you may fix 10 things and you may break another five. And so when you when you break those other things, it can people are happy that things get fixed, but they don't like the degradation of the other stuff that stupid stuff happens. And I'm trying to think of an example of that. I can tell you that in our I can't think of a video game example, but I can tell you that like with our store system, where we sell game codes, that there's been times where we put in a patch to fix something like just display a code better on a web page or something like that.
Yep.
And then what happened was is when somebody would make a purchase, it not only displayed it better, but it displayed their code and the next one in line to be sold, and they only bought one.
Yep.
So that was a unintended benefit for that customer, and to our detriment on the store. So those kind of things happen all the time, but um, you know, now in like World of Warcraft, it's like many other games. Whenever a new patch comes out, the we end up with them lowering the barrier to entry and wanting to make certain things easier, which then reduces gameplay for us hardcore players. It gets easier and easier and easier, which can be perceived as a bad thing for us people who've been playing it all this time.
Yep.
But for brand new people who are coming in, they appreciate it. In fact, it's what attracts them because they're like, oh, now that they put this in, maybe I'll go ahead and maybe I feel comfortable enough to go ahead and play.
Yeah, it's like that video you had where games end up not being how they started out to, just like WoW,
Mm-hmm.
and the person was upset that WoW wasn't how it used to be.
WoW vanilla compared to what we've got now.
Yep.
So, yeah, and that's happened. I remember, they thought that they were back in Ultima Online. There was Age of Shadows was the big update that they put in, and in Age of Shadows they did a whole rework on the item system, and I used to be able to have a sword. Like, let's say this pin is my sword, and we had this. It'd be like the durable sword of vanquishing. And so this being durable, it had more. It could be used a lot longer because it was more durable. But the vanquishing part meant that its top end on how hard it could hit or how much damage it could do was higher than a normal just sword of this type. It could be a great sword, it could be a katana, it could be any of those. And so what that meant was is we had these scales, and it's like 10 different things. There was like durable, there was, maybe it started out with like frail, and then went to durable, and then it went to something like titanium, and that's not one of them that was actually used. I actually don't have the lists in front of me of what it used to be, but it made for these really long titles of your items. And what they did is they changed everything so that now it was just a scale of 0 to 10. And so 10 being the highest, it had much more on that attribute. And so it would, instead of being, a great sword of vanquishing or whatever, it then became just a sword plus 10 power or whatever. And so that whole thing, they were trying to enhance the game, but while they made it so it was more functional for everybody, so everybody could understand, they kind of dumbed it down. It took away from the magic of how that whole system worked.
Oh yeah, just like World of Warcraft now compared to before, it's gotten really dubbed down a lot.
Mm-hmm. So how long have you been playing WoW?
It's been off and on since it came out, and I know you usually say just try to find a different game, and I've tried to go to other games. It's just the first actual MMO I kind of started with.
Mm-hmm. And what is it that draws you back to it?
It's the auction house system, pretty much.
So you play a merchant
game.
Mm-hmm. Are you filthy rich?
Well, I just had 100K and I just spent 40 of it to make more. So.
Well, that's works as long as you make more than 40 back.
Yeah, well, pretty much what I've been doing. Every 10K, I get 30K out of it, so I make 20K profit. So it's pretty easy.
Would you like to share your system?
Yeah, I have my jewel crafting and my enchanting maxed out, and I just prospect ore, and then I sell the rare gems, and then I make tons of rings and necklaces, and then I sell the blue ones of those, and then I disenchant the rest, and you just sell everything else.
Mm-hmm. And so you just rinse and repeat every time?
Yep, and like one of the key things is that you need to, like, every server has a bot in it. There's people that bot just the farm.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to know when they post their items on the auction house and buy them all out. Because they'll post 50 plus stacks of ore, and you just buy it all. It's always the same person.
Yeah, okay. And so, and then you use that ore in your processing to make your stuff?
Yep.
Okay. And so, how long is your turnaround time on that?
Well, just to make gold, I could be spending maybe 2-3 hours farming rather than, and you only make maybe 2 to 5K worth of gold, or I can just do what I do now for 2 to 3 hours and make 20K profit. Mm-hmm. And this is like off and on when I have free time.
Mm-hmm. And so, but you have some auction house time involved in that as well. So you got to let the auctions play out to get all your money back.
Yeah, it usually pretty much sells overnight. Usually the weekend, because there's so many people playing. That's when the stuff is the cheapest. Mm-hmm. And you want to sell during the week.
So you find that certain days are better to sell on.
Oh yeah, because everybody plays during the weekend and and at night.
And do you make your auctions so that they end at a particular time, or do you
Yep.
post them at a particular time?
Yep. 12 hours.
12 hours. And is there a particular time of day that you post them because you find that you make more money on auctions that are posted at a certain time of day?
Yep. Usually I post in the morning, and then towards around 6, 7 o'clock, I'll take them off and then repost them, and then I just leave it overnight, and then they all sell. I usually get 10, 15K overnight. So
And so if I okay, so let's say that I handed you 10K today,
Yep.
right now, and you say you're making 30K in return in total. So you're basically tripling your money.
yep.
So if I handed you 10K today, then when would I get that 30K back?
I would say about 2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days.
Sometimes overnight.
And how many hours of your time does that take?
1 to 2 hours a day. Well, 2 to 3 hours a day.
2 to 3 hours a day?
Yep.
Yeah. So, okay. That's not a bad way to make money.
But I just like doing it. I don't know why. I just like it.
So you end up making about 10K a day.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's the title of this video. How to make 10K a day in World of Warcraft.
You'll get a ton of views on that one. all those YouTube videos are huge. None of them are really, really bold on how to do it. So.
And do you feel like you've told me enough so that somebody who wanted to try doing that could do it?
Oh yeah. And the thing is, you have to keep on top of buying it, or somebody else will buy all that ore, and then you'll have competition.
Oh.
Once you get to a certain level, you work your way up, then it's piece of cake.
And so do you use any tools to monitor the auction house, or you just go in and check a few times a day?
I'll check on my computer, and then I also have the WoW app on my phone. And you can only buy 200 items a day, but I usually max that out every day. And then for my add-on is Trade Skill Master, and there's a whole bunch of stuff about that, and it's like the best one right now.
Cool. Well, if I were still playing WoW, I would be thinking, I'm going to try that tonight. But
Yep.
I'm not in WoW any longer.
Yep.
So, okay. Well, Tim, thank you very much for your question. And I hope that answer was what you were looking for, or at least, made sense to you.
Awesome.
So, okay. Well, Tim, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's pretty interesting. So think of that. You can make 10,000 a day. Is that a lot of money in World of Warcraft? I am not 100% sure that is, but 10K a day, and that sounds pretty interesting. Okay, well. Now, speaking of World of Warcraft, I've talked about we're giving away a Frostmourne sword. And anyway, if you are watching the live show, hold on. And if you're watching this later on my YouTube channel, then just make sure you subscribe to see the next one. So take care, everybody. And those of you who are live, I'll be right back.
If you made it this far in the video, you may as well subscribe. That's what I want you to do. You obviously liked it well enough to watch it this far. So look at this. This is Frostmourne. This is a Runes of Magic sword. This Runes of Magic sword is one that we're giving away as second prize to one of you subscribers, just for being subscribed. That's all you have to do. Subscribe and accept our messages, or watch our videos where we draw for prizes. So this one is it's a really nice sword. It's signed by some of the American staff for Runes of Magic. And then there's the big boy here. I got it on my shoulder because it's so darn heavy. The sucker is 16 pounds. Look at this. So it's a two-handed sword here, man. This is a beautiful sword. And we're giving this away when we hit 42,500 subscribers. It could be you. So, just subscribe, that's all you have to do. We'll do videos selecting the winners, and we'll send you a message in YouTube as long as you accept it. Just make sure you accept messages from us. To do that, put us on your contact list. And you just add Marky Dragon to your contact list, and then you'll be able to get messages from us, and you'll have 30 days to get back to us when we send you a message. Or if we can't message you, you'll just be on video, and you just gotta watch the video and then contact us. So anyway, if you made it this far, you really should subscribe, and I would appreciate it. So anyway, that's all.